right, man. Welcome back to That's So Controversial. This is my daily chat where I log in every day and talk to you guys about a specific topic. Today's topic is can we still be friends? Sounds like that Justin Bieber song, right? So that's a really good question, I guess, right? If and there are multiple scenarios where we can apply this question to, right? You have the scenario where you have a female friend who has been your friend for a long time, and then you get into a relationship and your partner is not comfortable with the relationship you have with this other female partner. So maybe you're in a predicament now, right? So how do you go about that, right? How I mean, do you choose your new relationship over your friendship? Is that something that you think is that something you actually believe you have to make a choice on? Should you have to choose between your friendships and your relationships? Or is there a middle ground where your partner has to understand that this person has been a friend for quite some time? And is there initial of trust? Is there an element of jealousy that plays a role in that? So it's really really interesting because I guess it depends on how confident the person you're with is, and how open that relationship is. Obviously jealousy has to play a factor in this thing. There's so many different rules also. I've had to go through that also. And it's crazy. You have all these little micro rules that play a role in there. There comes the question of, have you guys had sex before, right? And then there's that option, not option, there's the question of can you still be friends with someone you had sex with also? So I'm just curious about what you guys think about it, because I personally have been able to be friends with almost everyone that I've had sex with, basically, and it was fine. You know, we're able to separate the two, but it gets complicated when you get into a relationship, because now there's that element of this person knows you too well. So is there a difference, or would you mind if your partner has a friend of the opposite sex? Like, is it okay if they didn't have sex? Would you mind? Is it a different scenario when they have had sex? And what's the difference, like, to you? What's the point of where you're okay with it? Me personally, I'm that cool dude. I don't care. I just don't care. And I have what do you call it? Like, when I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in earning trust. I believe you lose trust, right? So when I'm in a relationship, you have my trust from the beginning, right? Now it's up to you whether or not you're going to keep that trust or you're going to lose that trust. So if I'm giving you that full trust from the beginning, it doesn't matter who your friends are, as long as you're showing me respect when you're having conversations with them, when you're talking to them, and that the conversations don't involve anything, I guess, that you would deem disrespectful. So I guess you would have to consider your partner and their feelings. And if I guess in another point to consider in these situations, I personally think, is when you're considering this situation, you gotta ask yourself, would you be okay with that, right? And I'll give you a perfect example, right? I had a female friend who used to spend the night with me, and we weren't doing anything physical. we have had sex in the past, and that didn't turn into anything. So we just continued a really, really great friendship. And she would come over every once in a while, spend the night, we'd chill, we'd hang out. And at first, I didn't think it was a problem. But then when I got into a relationship and I was being naive about it, I was like, you know, she was my friend from before we got together, and why shouldn't it be a problem? But I had to ask myself, would I be okay if my lady had a male friend spend the night? So that's where things get a little more complicated, right? So I guess you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to ask yourself, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you be comfortable? Would you be okay? And I think that's the most honest way to approach that situation. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with who you are, and you got to just ask yourself, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you be okay? And you make your decision based on that, and don't lie to yourself, because if the situation gets presented and you don't like it, it's kind of it's a double standard. So again, I'll pose the question: can you have friends of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship? And if so, what are the rules? Are there certain rules that you can apply or are willing to apply? And if not, I'm curious, like, why you personally don't think that it's a good idea. Is it a thing of is it a trust issue? Is it a respect issue? Is it something else, something greater, something smaller? And is it something that you just shouldn't even be a thing, right? I'm curious. I personally think it's fine. Maybe not so much so if sex was an issue, meaning like if you guys had some form of intimacy, I could possibly see how that's a problem, because then you gotta worry about, is that something that I might have to be competing with? Was he or she better than me? They have like this chemistry that we don't have in the bedroom. I guess those are things that may be playing a role in the back of your head. And I really like this topic, so I think I'm gonna have these in one of my Sunday discussions. So if you guys think that this is a topic that you'd like to talk about more in depth, absolutely, please hit me up. I would love to have this conversation. I think everyone can provide some level of feedback. I think everyone has had experience with this at some level, at some form whatsoever, and I think it'll be a fun conversation, because there are so many aspects that can be explored, and I guess it has to do with your comfort level, what you're okay with, and I don't know. Does even maturity play a role in it? Maturity, sexuality, rules, comfort, honesty, transparency. Uh, I guess also it would be a problem. I guess. Would you be okay meeting this person, right? All right. If you guys were in a relationship and you had a member of the opposite sex as a friend, would you be okay with that person meeting your partner? And if not, why not? And would your partner be okay with meeting this person? If so, why and why not? I think it'll be interesting and fun topic. So that is my daily chat for today. Thank you for the one person that was watching. I appreciate that. So I look forward to hearing or seeing and reading your responses on the Facebook group chat. And I will see you guys there, man. I think this could be a really fun conversation, a really fun topic in light of the current events going on in the world today with all the stress with the elections and stuff like that. So I thought I'd bring us a little bit of a more fun topic where we can go back and forth and hear from different perspectives and see what people think. It's one of those topics that are it's a slippery slope. It's one of those things where I think with each relationship and each person it's different. because people are just weird and special that way. Anyway, hit me up. I look forward to hearing from you guys and reading your comments below. I will talk to you next week because, like I said, I'm going to be doing these daily chats Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I won't be doing anything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I still want to do the Sunday chats, but only when I have a group of people that are willing to have these discussions in depth. That's what I'm saving the Sunday chats for. But I think that trying to do it from a week to week basis is kind of tough right now because I don't have a wide enough audience to kind of draw participants in from. So it takes some time to try to get people who are willing to have these discussions on live. So I'm still working on that. Still have. I'm still optimistic about that platform. I think there's a lot of room for growth and a lot of room for just growing that platform and having being able to discuss things. And anyway, now I'm just rambling. So I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend and try not to be too stressed out with these elections, man. Whoever wins, wins, and we got to deal with it for the next 4 years, whatever that may be. And I guess just take this time to really, think about how you want to go about with the next election and being more engaged and educating and learning about, the things and policies that are important to you. So with that said, I love you guys. Take care, be good, and I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend, man. God bless. Boom.